The very first thing I'd like to suggest as you take your seat is it's so much easier in life not to step up, not to raise your hand, not to ask the question, and not to become part of the solution. What is so common in our society these days is people complaining about how crappy everything is. It's just bad. Politicians suck. The environment sucks. The coronavirus is coming this way. Like we just talk about how bad everything is, but there's not a whole lot of people raising their hands saying, "And I want to be part of the solution." So the very first thing I want to acknowledge is for those of you who asked questions tonight, and those of you who have asked them on other shows, thank you for standing up. Part of what allowed me to get my confidence back was when Jason had the audacity, that little kid in my class, to stand up for me. Because I realized if he was willing to stand up for me, maybe I ought to be willing to stand up for myself from time to time. When someone else believes in you, when you don't yet believe in yourself, because we all go through seasons of life where we just don't believe, we just get beat down. But when someone steps up for you, all of a sudden now you might believe that you're worthy. There's a band called Journey. Have you guys ever heard of Journey? Some of
Yeah.
you like,
Hell
I think,
yeah.
I think my grandpa
Don't
listens to
stop
Journey. So yeah,
believing,
I've
dude.
heard of it. You know, those guys all die? No, they didn't all die. They still rock. So you guys need to check out Journey. There's I had them on our podcast, and Jonathan Cain is their keyboardist. And he shared the story that he had given up on his dream. His confidence was shot. And he wrote home to his dad. He was out in California at the time writing music, but it wasn't working for the band Journey. And he wrote home to his dad in Chicago and said, "Dad, can you send money? I need to get home." And his dad sent him a check. This is 1976 for $3,000. That's a lot of money, but it's a ton of money in 76. With that check, though, the dad included a letter that said, "Son, with this money, you may not come home. You may not come home. You are talented. You are gifted. You can play, you can sing, and I expect that you utilize your talent for something bigger than yourself. You're not coming home. You're not going to waste your talent back home in Chicago. Stay in California and pursue the dream." And then on the memo of the check, the dad wrote three words. For the Journey fans, you're going to know these words before I get to them. But the three words were, "Don't stop believing." You can Google the song later on if you're unfamiliar with it, but you're going to be singing it at a karaoke bar when you're in college here in a couple of years. So don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. Jonathan Cain cashed the check. He wrote down those three words in his journal that night. If you don't keep a journal right now, I beg you and implore you and challenge you. Start tonight. Don't wait. Your life is worth tracking. You will look back on these days with fondness. And if you don't write down, if you don't take inventory of your life, you'll forget it all. You'll remember like three experiences as a junior and two as a senior. Track your life. You're so worthy. Your life is a gift. Track your life. Jonathan Cain tracked his. He journaled, and that night he wrote down, "Don't stop believing." 3 months after that check was cashed, he recorded that song in studio. "Don't stop believing." He borrowed those three words though from his father's check, from that love. And so to answer Megan's question in a long-winded fashion, Megan, the way I began to believe again is that people began to believe in me.